Hello, all. This is Seema Govil with FABLIFE360. So I am back after the break. As promised, I will bring you our candidate for Austin City Council, Pooja Sethi. And some of you have already heard her. In a few episodes ago, we did an episode before the primaries, and she was there. So Pooja is an attorney, a small business owner, a mom, and a non-profit founder for women, and has also been actively involved in our local government through boards and commissions since 2016, and truly understands how city policies affect our lives every day. During her time as commissioner at City Hall, she has fought for more transportation for seniors, services for women who face family violence, and funding for census outreach. She has also fought for our small businesses, climate change, and our city to be safer, stronger, and greener through her work with the Greater Austin Asian Chamber of Commerce and her work on climate plan steering committee for the city of Austin. And Pooja, tell our listeners and viewers, what was your incentive? It's not easy to run for public. It's not a picnic. You are in the midst of a campaign. Everything is about elections. So when did you decide, and why did you decide to run?
Good question. So I would say my initial thought to get involved in city policies was back in 2016 when I got involved with the mayor's task force on systemic racism and diminishing systemic biases. And from there, I realized that there are just a lot of gaps in our city government, and not every community has a voice, and not every community was represented. So then I joined the city commission, and I saw that there were still gaps. And that's kind of what led me to just be a part of and an active part of our city's boards and commissions and task forces every year I would join more and more. And I realized that to create true, real policy, we need people on the dais that can bring stories from the ground, stories from the communities, stories like you mentioned, women of family violence, to the dais to really create policies to help everybody in Austin and in our city. So that's what brought me here today.
So proud to see you as a South Asian woman of color running and fighting all the odds and standing out right there with everybody. It's not easy. Yeah, and you know what? I want to ask you, you've been campaigning. I mean, you never imagined when you filled that ballot that you would be campaigning in the midst of COVID. I bet you had plans to visit every community in every little area of Austin. And, you had something in mind, how you wanted to reach everybody. And it's not been easy. And you are seeing things that we are not seeing because you are still, you're still doing whatever you can, driving and meeting people. So tell us some behind the scenes things that you are seeing in our economy, in Austin economy and overall economy. How has our economy suffered? Small businesses, entrepreneurs, travel, service industry.
So a lot of our businesses, I would say, so I will start with the city of Austin and just go bigger into nationwide from what we're seeing. Because as we look, as people might know or might not know, Austin has moved into a top 10 city in this country, right? So people from across the country do look to cities like Austin to see what we are doing within our local economy and what they should be doing in their city. So I really have a vision for Austin that we will create a city that other cities look to as models to help them out. We've had way too many businesses in Austin shut down. In District 10, where I live, it's tends to be one of the wealthier districts in Austin, and we have a lot of business owners and family business owners in this district. We also have a lot of businesses in this district, and we have seen time and time again so many businesses have to shut down because of high rent. And then a lot of the South Asian businesses have had to shut down, and one of the problems with that is I just think at a city level, we are giving out business grants, but we're not doing enough community engagement with small business owners about things like federal loans, state loans, city loans, like what loans are available to business owners in order to keep their businesses afloat. What have we done as a city to truly help every business owner access the resources that they have to stay afloat? And that in itself is not equitable, right? So when you're seeing certain businesses that, you know, where they need translation services and certain other services, are we reaching out to those businesses to help them with those extra resources that they may not need, that they may not have access to right now? So that is at a city level. I've been pushing for that a lot. And then at a large scale level, we are just seeing that across the country. We're seeing that businesses are failing because people don't have access or adequate knowledge of the resources that are being provided. So when you're looking at a scale of what businesses are being helped and what businesses are not being helped, it's not equitable across the country. And so you see smaller businesses, communities of color, where businesses are failing, and a lot of businesses that are owned by women are failing because we're not getting the same resources as the other businesses are. So
what do you want to happen now?
So on a federal level, I think we needed more grants. We needed more money. We needed more money given into our states, into our cities to help our small businesses, and it should have been done more quickly. It wasn't done fast enough because we all know that the longer it takes, the longer we take as a system to help our small business owners, to help people, the more in debt people get into, the more, and you know, then it starts this domino effect that one business falls down, they stop purchasing from certain vendors, then that vendor gets in trouble, then they fall down. So we should have been on top of this, and this is the federal government, the White House, frankly, should have been on top of this from the very beginning. This should have been one of the first priorities that they had, was helping our small businesses, because when we're helping our small businesses, we're helping their employees as well. And then if you're helping their employees, you're helping their families. And then the families can pay rent. So that should have been the top priority that didn't happen.
So how do you think we can restore stability? How do you think now we are facing the music, right?
Well, I will say number one, go vote. Elections are November 3rd here in Texas. They start October 13th. Vote for the candidate. Vote for the candidate who has supported small businesses. And I will say that the person who will support small businesses is not in the White House right now. So let's vote. Let's vote for candidates up and down the ballot that support small businesses, that support families, and support true economic resilience. And that's how we move forward from this. And we need someone who is bold and aggressive about this. We can't tiptoe around it anymore.
So as a closing note, what would you like our listeners and viewers to know about what you have experienced and what you want to see and what frustrates you every day?
So I get frustrated when I see people who call us and they are small business owners, or they have family members that are small business owners, and they don't know how to apply for a grant, or they missed a grant deadline from the city. And it's something that could have been resolved, quite frankly. And it's frustrating because this is their livelihood. This is their lives in balance. And because of failed policies at every level, they're not getting the help they need. And it is just so frustrating to me. And it's me as a candidate, because people call me, and me as a candidate that gets sad and frustrated for people, that I have to be the one who said, I'm so sorry, you just missed the deadline on this grant that really could have kept your business afloat. And let's see what we can do, but the next grant might not come up for another 30 to 60 days. And that is just really heartbreaking and frustrating to me. And that's something that I would really, really like to change. And again, I would also like to encourage everyone to vote for candidates that care about making sure that everyone in their communities are represented and their voices are heard, and that will stand up for every single person in the community, not just a select few.
Thank you. Thank you, Pooja. All the best for upcoming elections. And as everyone, please vote early, starting in person, make a plan and show up. So I'll be right back with Henna, and we'll be discussing more about climate change now. How is climate change going to be affected for next few years. So Pooja, thank you so much. I'll see you
Thank
next time.
you. Thank you so much.